ProView Networks.
If you're drunk,
Blasted,
intoxicated,
rip, plastered,
destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor. DSI Document Solutions, Inc., NM. Boost your productivity and reduce your costs with DSI. And by Frontier Restaurant, an Albuquerque tradition for more than 50 years.
7 a.m. in the morning, she's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Just lay down.
Now.
It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, damn would be the appropriate term if you're a Lobo women's basketball fan. You were headed out today. You were going to go watch them tonight. You're a day late. And once again, Lobo women's basketball out in the quarterfinals. Once again, ousted by San Diego State. A cold shooting night for New Mexico. Really, really cold start. They fight back and we're playing uphill all night long. Lobos lose in the quarters 67-56 to San Diego State. Their season comes to a close at 21 wins and 11 losses. Good morning to you. And welcome to the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, the voice of the Lobos, is in Las Vegas. I don't know, maybe I'll cross you in the air today or however it is. But how you living, man? That was a tough one yesterday.
Super disappointing for this team last night. The offensive struggles that they had earlier in the season reared their ugly heads. They could not hit an outside shot. A lot of the baskets that they were making inside were not falling between Anaya Ogman and Nia Wilson. I know Anaya Wilson led the team in scoring, but it still was not an efficient game for the Lobos, and just really disappointing. They knew how tough of a matchup it was going to be because San Diego State's big, and they got a ton of experience on their roster. But with the way the Lobos have played this season, they're confident. They figured that they were going to make it a game and be there late, but when they were just so cold early in this contest, they didn't have a chance to get back in it. Once San Diego State was able to get a lead, they kept the Lobos at an arm's length the entire game.
I think when I flipped it on, it was 13-1. Does that sound right? Was it about 13-1 at one point?
It was.
And they were playing for me. And then all of a sudden, I look up and it was 15-13. And so they battled their way back, but they were playing that way the whole day. They shoot 39% from the field. 3 of 17 from three-point land. Nia Wilson led the way with 22 points. Nia Ogman had 10 points, but she also turned the ball over 6 times. In San Diego State, 2 of their best players were Quezada got hurt, and then Prohaska fouled out with about 5.5, 6 minutes to go. So the door was open. They just could not hit a shot.
Yeah, San Diego State was able to go 8 of 20 from 3. They were dominant inside. Villalobos had a double-double. Quezada had 14 points. Before her and Ogman actually just banged heads going over a screen late in that contest. And for New Mexico, they didn't hit their first 3-point shot till 8:15 left in the fourth quarter. That was Paula Reyes. And you look at Paula Reyes, Van Cumber only scored 5 points each. It was just worst-case scenario for the Lobos offense last night.
All right, so they're done, 21-11. WNIT, some people are sitting around waiting for that. Again, I know there's no opportunity to play at home. What's your feel? You're around the team. Are they done? Is there going to be an NIT? Where are you with this?
Well, with the NCAA taking over the WNIT and it being a 32-team field, I do not know if the Lobos would get into that.
And explain the difference, because they're the second-place team in this league. What's their net ranking? Is it like low 80s or something like that?
The net ranking was in, last time I checked, it was 150.
All right. So that's probably not going to do it. There's no real – they got the one win to hang their hat on, the UNLV win, but a few losses that are really going to knock them back. So that might be it.
Yeah, because the much like we've seen the men's NIT,
Yeah.
Be a 32 team field, a little more focus on
Power
the conference champions that didn't get in, power conference teams. Well, the WNIT used to be a 64 team field. And so that's why everyone was just like, oh, we're going to go play in the WNIT. Well, that's not the case because now the NCAA NIT is kind of taking over that. And so if you think about, all right, there's 68 teams that get in to the NCAA tournament. And then the next best teams are the Lobos going to be in that NIT? I'm not sure.
All right. Then we got to address this. They've got a history of early exits. I got a text. It's from Mike. I'm sorry, an email from Mike. And it says, give Bradbury another raise, question mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Another first round exit in the conference tournament, WTH. This has become an issue, huh? The first round of the tournament, not making deep runs. They just haven't. It's been a long time since the Lobos have made a deep run. I think was Yvonne's team her last team. Was that the last one to get to the final?
Yeah, because I know the last 3 years, Lobos have won one game.
They did win a game. Was it the playing game?
No, they beat.
They lost the quarters
San Diego
last year to
State.
San Diego State last year.
So 3 years ago, they beat San Diego State, then lost to Colorado State, and then they've lost to the Aztecs in the quarterfinals the last 2 years.
Yeah, was that brought up at all? I mean, it just probably not, right? I mean, we didn't need a Utah State moment at the podium. I know. You sound like crap, dude.
Yeah,
Was it 3 nights in Vegas? Is that what I'm going to sound like when on Friday?
it's possible, man. I was already not 100%, and just calling the game last night. My voice is not great this morning.
Yeah. Let's see what happened. DC Cinema 311. He went out and sang and went out and had a good time at a concert and called a game in Vegas. Now he sounds like that. See what you did to him?
Sounds like he earned it.
Attaboy is what I just heard.
Yeah,
from
that's
you.
an attaboy.
I think he just gave you an attaboy for sounding like crap.
Going hard in Vegas.
Yeah.
Come back, no voice. You know you did it right.
Yeah, JJ. I mean, if you've been the social media, I know I've seen it. It was the first email I got this morning. It's been an issue with this club and the old school Lobo fan, who remembers the Don Flanagan stuff when they were making their runs and when it was Pitt West, are having a little hard time dealing with what's kind of become an epidemic now of early losses in the conference tournament.
This one it's really hard to explain. It's super frustrating because I watched how hard this team played all season long.
Yeah.
The practice, the effort, being around this team this weekend, they were locked in. It was the same vibe, the same energy that they had all year long. But you go into the game and you start down 13-1, and you're just not seeing any shots fall, and they never had that feel like they're going to be able to turn the corner last night.
Yeah. All right, you can get in on the ladies, 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Your emails come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com. JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. On the Twitter, _JJ Buck. Some of you call it the X because that's what it's called, so you can call it that if that's what you want to call it. Also on Facebook, the OD and the AM. Adrian's producing. I already showed you highlights of the Lobo women's game last night. That's where we are on Comcast Channel 26 and on our Facebook page and on the ProView Network's YouTube channel. Men, the media all-conference came out. I think, JJ, the official one is the one that'll come out today, right? The coaches all-conference, but the media list came out yesterday, and sometimes the preview of coming attractions, sometimes it's not. I'm going to go through them. Here's what I found. The one thing that jumped off the page to me. So the player of the year, according to the media, is Jaden Ledee, San Diego State, who they finished 5th. Runner-up for player of the year was Darius Brown from Utah State. He had 3 votes out of the, what did they, let me give you the exact number, 7-3, so out of the 11. Darius Brown was second team. He didn't make first team all conference, but he was runner-up for player of the year. That was when I had a hard time reconciling.
Yeah, we already know how close it's going to be across the board just with the awards in the Mountain West this season of how good it was atop the conference. And to see, I do think it's, when we talk about freshman of the year with JT Toppin, Dean Thomas, it's player of the year between Ledee, Brown, and Osobor, the 2 Utah State players in Aztec. in that conversation. And it's crazy to see Brown be second team, just
Right.
the amount of big time shots the dude hit too.
But who do you take off? First team, Jaden Ledee, San Diego State. Great Osobor, Utah State. Isaiah Stevens, Colorado State. Tyson Degenhart, Boise State. Jared Lucas from Nevada. Lucas beat out Brown by 8 points. Second team, Darius Brown, Utah State. Keenan Blackshear from Nevada. And then 3 Lobos. Donovan Dent, JT Toppin, and Jalen House, second team. Third, and Dedon Thomas, also third team. And then third team, Jamal Mashburn Jr. made that list with Nick Davidson from Nevada, Petrides from Air Force, Sam Griffin from Wyoming, and Omar Stanley from Boise State. Player of the year, I told you, was Ledee. Coach of the year, easy. Danny Sprinkle, although not unanimous. Steve Alford did get a vote. Jalen House, New Mexico, defensive player of the year on the media ballot. Newcomer of the year, this was relatively easy. Great Osobor, although it wasn't, because Great Osobor and the same people who voted for player of the year, Great Osobor got 1 vote for player of the year. He got 8 for newcomer of the year, and Darius Brown got 3. And I guess they were just trying to split them up and give them each something. Freshman of the year was relatively close. JT Toppin from New Mexico, 8 votes to Dedon Thomas's 3. And then 6th man of the year, Josh Udeje from Utah State, tied with Mustafa Amsil from New Mexico. So Amsil is co-6th man of the year. So a whole lot of hardware. I hope it doesn't play this way for the men like it did for the women. Women got a whole lot of hardware too and got knocked out in the first round. I sure as hell hope this is the precursor.
Yeah, you don't want to see that repeat itself twice in Vegas. That would be very, very disappointing.
We'll get the coaches, which I do believe is considered the official one. The coaches poll will come out, or the poll's not the right word. The results for their player of the year, their all conference, all that stuff that comes out today. But you can get into that. I think this is interesting. I don't have huge issues with it. I mean, I would have put Darius Brown first team instead of I don't know who though, right? I mean, you keep Lucas off. It's really, really hard. Blackshear had an argument to be first team as well, but it's hard. I think they got the awards right, although I would have had Darius Brown instead of Jaden Ledee as player of the year.
Yeah, I think there was the media doing a little bit of spreading it out, making sure they recognize Ledee as an individual, but then give Utah State their due. And I always think it's interesting because when we talk about MVPs, everyone has their own criteria, and really the same thing for like player of the year, because it just always seems to just go with best player on best team. And I think that's probably what we'll see though with the coaches award. Is
Do you think they go that way instead of best player on 5th place team?
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, oh boy, the NFL. Oh, I mean, they're handing out paper and stacks and stacks and stacks. Running back day yesterday, you have leg day and you have arm day and then you have chest day. Running back day, and it continued through this morning. If you're like figuring out the guy on your fantasy team or should I hold him or not, stand by, because I got more that happened this morning that maybe you didn't know about when you went to bed last night because, well, it hadn't happened yet. But boy, the teams look different. Some for the better, some we'll find out. That's coming up when we come back. That's after I tell you about my friends at On the Spot Automotive Detailing, because you're in your vehicle and odds are, and they all are, man, they get this way. It's dirty. It's filthy. There's stuff everywhere, and the outside needs some work. On the Spot Automotive Detailing will take care of that for you, and they will come to you when it works for you, where it works for you. That means they go to the office or they'll go to your house. While you're inside working, they're outside working. They get a text, or you get a text, and you go back outside, and your vehicle looks and smells and feels the way it was the day you took it off the lot, like it was brand new. That's what they do for you, and they have ceramic coating and paint protection film. Works like magic with no more mud and dirt and water stains. Their protective layering helps prevent UV oxidation damage to your car's paint. Look, it's one of your biggest investments. Protect it. Awarded best of the city because they know what it takes to keep your car in the best condition. It's all right there for you. Book and buy online. OTSdetailing.com. That is OTSdetailing.com.
What's up, folks?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part,
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo.
All that happens there, maybe even get over to the Pac-12, give you a little love from over there as well. It's brought to you by Coleman Vision, perfect game. Airport parking, easier, quicker, smarter. Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor. Frontier Restaurant, an Albuquerque tradition for more than 50 years. And DSI Document Solutions Incorporated, New Mexico. Boost your productivity and reduce your costs with DSI. All right, JJ. Boy, do people get paid. I don't know how they're feeling in Vegas about losing Josh Jacobs and getting Christian Wilkins and what the buzz is there. All I know is a whole lot of money, and that's kind of how the beginning, and really it happens tomorrow. They just agree on it yesterday because it's legal tampering season. But boy, did they throw some money around yesterday.
It was a wild day, and it wasn't huge contracts, but how about the running backs all finding jobs?
All right, well, let me give you stuff that happened this morning. And this may be, people may not know this because they went to bed, but Aaron Jones, who was released yesterday, the former UTEP star, New Mexico Bowl alum, back in the day, he was released by the Packers, staying in the NFC North. He was signed 1 year, $7 million with the Vikings. So the Vikings went out and revamped their backfield. They lose Kirk Cousins. Right now, it looks like Sam Darnold and Aaron Jones. You okay with that?
I'm okay with Aaron Jones. I like that for 1 year. I think that's great for that offense. They take a big hit losing Kirk Cousins, and it's probably just come down to guaranteed money that he's getting over 4 years with the Atlanta Falcons, as opposed to what Minnesota wanted to do again with him coming off the Achilles injury. And I'm intrigued, man. Sam Darnold with Kevin O'Connell. And can he have kind of a second act like we've seen with Baker Mayfield?
Yeah. All right, let me give you stuff that happened like in the last 12 hours. Maybe, since you stopped paying attention, because you probably knew Kirk Cousins went to Atlanta, and Saquon Barkley went to Philly, and Josh Jacobs went to Green Bay, and all those things. In the last, few hours or so, the Aaron Jones thing went down. Bills agreed to terms with defensive tackle Daquan Jones, 2 years, $16 million. Jets are re-signing, did they ever have Tyrod Taylor? It feels like Tyrod Taylor's been everywhere. Was he there? Was he with the Giants? Anyway, Jets signed Tyrod Taylor to back up Aaron Rodgers. 2 years, $18 million to be he's never gonna have to play. I don't think, right? Rodgers, once he's healthy, he never comes out, does he? 4 years, $18 million at the back end of your career. And that's a good little add to your retirement plan, isn't it?
That's a great signing. I mean,
good for both of them, I guess.
Yeah, getting your backup at that price is that frees up a lot of room. So I think that was a really good move on their part.
All right, Jets gave former 49ers first-round pick Javon Kinlaw 1 year deal. He so it's a kind of a prove-it deal for him. 10 hours ago, the Jets were talking about signing a lineman. Brandon McManus, your former kicker, another New Mexico Bowl alum, Temple. 9 years with the Broncos, last year with the Jaguars. He'll be with the Commanders. 1 year, $3.6 million for a kicker. Panthers continue. Another guard, Damian Lewis. Boy, they're doing everything they can to protect their young quarterback. Guard, Damian Lewis, 4 years, $53 million. Marquez Valdes-Scantling was released, and so could the Chiefs be going after Darnell Mooney? That's what the word is there. And there's all kinds of stuff. All right, so Tony Pollard left the Cowboys. He goes to Tennessee. Austin Eckler left the Chargers. He goes to Washington. Brian Burns, a pass rusher, got paid 5 years, $150 in a trade for the New York Giants. They said a second and a fifth. Kirk Cousins, what's the biggest one? What jumps off the page to you? There's a bunch, right?
Yeah, when you start in the trenches, and I do like those moves. Christian Wilkinson, the defensive tackle, going from Miami here to Vegas. Now all of a sudden with Max Crosby coming off the edge, and you have a guy that, as a defensive tackle, had 9 sacks last season. I think that's huge for the Raiders defense. Their pass rush is going to be very hard to deal with next year. You mentioned one of the guard signings. Carolina also signed Robert Hunt, another guard, for $100 million. Just kind of made sure to overpay him a little bit, but they're really trying to solidify that front in front of Bryce Young and try to keep him upright and healthy next season. And Bryce Huff, too, pass rusher from the Jets, goes over to the Eagles, because that's a team in Philadelphia that they lost a lot of pieces. They had veterans retire on both sides of the football. Jason Kelsey, Fletcher Cox, Hassan Reddick, one of the other edge guys, has kind of been in and out of the equation all offseason. Does he want to be traded? Does he not? To acquire Bryce Huff was big.
All right, running backs got paid. And I want you to go back to last offseason where they didn't. Saquon got paid with Philly. Josh Jacobs got paid in Green Bay, and paying is relative. DeAndre Swift, 3 years, $24 million to go to the Bears. Austin Eckler got some money coming off of a down season. I'm not gonna lie, a little surprised how quickly the running backs all landed places, and it really was just a shuffling. It really feels that way to me. Just everybody just kind of shuffled running backs. Let's see if this guy's better in my place than your place. Aaron Jones goes to Minnesota. Saquon Barkley goes to Philadelphia. Tony Pollard to Tennessee. It just got guys moving around. Were you surprised at how quickly and how much money went around to running backs?
I wasn't surprised when you look at the deals because it's not a lot of money. It's $8 to $12 million a year.
Yeah, but more than
it's not more than it was.
It isn't?
No, per year.
Yeah, per year.
Like the franchise tag is like 13 per year for these guys.
Yeah, Joe Mixon's still out there, by the way. He got cut.
Yeah, and so all these deals are pretty much $8 to $12 million a year, and so it's pretty much league average for a running back. And I think that's why all these guys signed is because they just were like, okay,
they realized that the market is
deals.
what it is, right? Yeah. So they realized they weren't looking for the 18 to 19 a year. They got their 10 to 12, and yeah, that's probably right. No, that's probably right. I'm going to tell you the two that I think make the biggest impact, and I'm hearing that Josh Jacobs really doesn't with the Packers. I think that's wrong. I think him going to the Packers is really good. He's similar to Aaron Jones, just younger, right? Saquon to the Eagles, if he stays healthy, dude, I think that's a huge piece to them. They've got, assuming Jalen Hurts comes back, tell me what they don't have offensively.
They have everything.
Yeah.
Offensively. And Barkley is the best talent of the group. It's just, are you going to be able to get the games out of him in a season? Because when he's on the field, he's a home run hitter. He's explosive. He does it in the passing game as well. And the Jacobs one is interesting because I think Aaron Jones, if you're saying, hey, we could have Aaron Jones for one more year on a cheaper deal, you take it. But I think what Green Bay is saying is, hey, they know that for at least 2 seasons they can lean on Josh Jacobs as their workhorse running back because we've seen Matt LaFleur in that offense is he'll lean on one of those guys. He leaned on Aaron Jones. He got him going in the second half of the season. And we're going to see the same exact thing with Josh Jacobs.
Do I keep them both? I got Jacobs and Aaron Jones on a keeper. Do I keep them both? They're like both in the $50 range.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about $50. But...
Well, Jacobs, I think. I don't know, man.
Jacobs.
That's another team that didn't make the playoffs. Those two running backs.
You have incredible luck when it comes to fantasy football.
I'm not very good. What do you think? I mean, what bounced off the page? Because I know you were staring at all this stuff.
Oh, definitely. The defensive moves from the Giants and Raiders were really impressive. We saw, especially in the playoffs, how important that edge rusher and getting that penetration from the defensive line is. So I think those were great. But like you said, Saquon to the Eagles is really interesting. I think that fills a big hole for them. We saw how they ended their season. They couldn't do anything right. I think this is a great way to turn that around. So those 3 are the ones that stood out. But the one thing also that stood out is that there was very little move in terms of wide receivers. So I'll be interested to see how that's approached.
Yeah, I think Gabe Davis and Deverneau Baltimore they both went to Jaguars. But nothing at the very, very top of the list. When we come back, there's one deal that still has not been made that should really change the market in some respect. And the Dallas Cowboys did what? It's the opening drive. Come on in at 505-246-0610. JJ's in Vegas. We're merely in downtown Boracay. 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Join Presbyterian Healthcare Foundation for Daffodil Days, presented by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here, and I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
We'll we'll see. I mean, look, the first day is not it. We hear this, JJ, all the time in college stuff. Just because you didn't do it on the first day of signing doesn't mean you're not going to do it. This is a free agency period, and in fact, it opens tomorrow. But if you're a Cowboy fan, should you be concerned, worried that there was no movement coming in?
It's always going to be a little disappointing as a fan when you don't see your team jump into the action when everyone else is feeling good, living up the hype of free agency signing, opening up, and the legal temping period. I think it's a reality of some of the work that they have to do contract-wise, just to create the needed cap space. And I think right now they have to be cautious because they really have to focus on what they need. And there's certain areas, I think the linebacker core is where they need to upgrade. They could wait out, probably even to get someone like Joe Mixon at this point on the cheap at the running back.
Might be right.
To come in there. So I think that's what you're looking at for Dallas.
Tony Biotic, their center, is gone. He went in division. He goes to the Commanders, 3 years, $30 million. The Eagles, of course, got Saquon Barkley, and they got another edge rusher, Bryce Huff. Both sides of the ball. The Giants, after they lose Saquon Barkley, they signed Devin Singletary as a running back. I don't know if that helps. Packers got running backs, Josh Jacobs. Aaron Jones signed with the Vikings. So the Cowboy free agents that remain in place right now. Stephon Gilmore, their cornerback. Tyron Smith, offensive tackle. And defensive tackle Jonathan Hankins. There's a bunch more, but I mean that's kind of the top of the list. So I gotta believe something comes out of Cowboy camp today. We'll see. Feels like almost everybody. The Broncos didn't make much noise. Rams didn't make much noise. I mean, the teams that made noise made some freaking noise, right? Because there were some loud bangs yesterday.
The Rams did good on the offensive line.
What did the Rams get? I didn't see anything.
They re-signed a player, and didn't they get a lineman from the Lions? Why am I blanking on that right now?
All right, you might be right. Rams re-signed Kevin Dotson. 3 years, $48 million. So that's their offensive line help, right? I mean, they needed to stabilize their offensive line.
They got Jonah Jackson as well.
Oh, they did get Jonah Jackson. Yeah, look at that. All right, then. We're good. We're all good. Here's what didn't happen and still hasn't happened, and at some point needs to happen, or I think does. Justin Fields is still a Chicago Bear. With all the stuff that's moving around now, everybody played musical quarterbacks. Gardner Minshew goes to the Raiders. So is Gardner Minshew the Raiders' starting quarterback? Are they going to draft the quarterback? Are they going to move up? Like, the Raiders have a plan. I got to believe. Is their plan Gardner Minshew for a year? Is their plan to move up? Is their plan a Bo Nix, Michael Penix in the middle of the first round? Is their plan? I mean, what do you think the Raiders are doing? Either one of you guys. I'm kind of, actually both. I'm kind of curious. With Gardner Minshew signing there.
Gardner Minshew feels like in case of emergency break glass.
Okay.
That if they can't figure it out, that they'll lean on him to be their starting quarterback.
I think this is a very interesting signing. I think it shows that they don't have a lot of faith in Aiden O'Connell. And they saw how Minshew did backing up in Indianapolis last year. So I think you're right, JJ. There is a certain, break glass in case of emergency element, but they have seen him lead a team successfully recently. So I think it's one of those they're hoping for the best, but I think they're keeping their eyes open. It's interesting because Antonio Pierce definitely has a plan, and what he's doing on defense is he laid it out with how they handled the Chiefs Christmas Day last year. He got that extra defensive end. Like they're focused on taking down the Chiefs. So my thought is that quarterback wise, they probably are thinking about something for the future. But I think Gardner is probably a good addition for right now.
So you think he's the guy this year?
I think there is a chance that he is starting on day one.
I think they draft somebody. I think they've got a plan. Now, so what's going to happen with Justin Fields? Because he's still there. So where could he go? Who still needs a quarterback? Washington still does, but they're going to draft at the second pick. New England does. I got to believe, even though they just signed Jacoby Brissett yesterday, I got to believe that they're going to go and with the number 3 pick take a quarterback. Obviously, the Bears look like they're taking a quarterback at 1. Raiders need a quarterback. Falcons solved their problem. The Vikings solved it. And did they solve it with Sam Darnold? They still need a quarterback, don't they? So where does Justin Fields fit now as everything's starting to move and he's still sitting there, and I got to believe the price is dropping? At what point do you say, you know what, I'll take a shot? Is it a third-round pick, JJ, if I'm the Raiders, if I'm the Vikings, if I'm somebody who needs a quarterback? I mean, again, I love the Seattle scenario. You guys have talked me into the Seattle. That may be the best thing for him. But where does he go?
At this point in time, I think people waited out, try to get him for even a 4th-round pick because he's not going anywhere and being a starting quarterback. It's very Trey Lance-like. And someone's going to throw a 4th-round pick out there and bring him in and see if he can be a backup. Because
you don't bring him in to compete? If you're the Vikings, you don't bring him in to compete with Sam Darnold?
I think right now with what Minnesota is doing, it's a possibility because they could just wait it out and see how cheap it can get. Because you don't Justin Fields doesn't have to be traded right now. Nothing has to be decided. But it's interesting seeing the decisions that are being made at the quarterback position. Because you say the Raiders, well, that Luke Getsy was the offensive coordinator in Chicago.
It just can't happen there. No, I know.
So he knows Justin Fields, and if he was sold on Justin Fields, I'm sure that they would have figured that out, and he would have said, "Hey, Antonio Pierce, you bring him in and be the offensive coordinator. Well, guess what? Let's go get Justin Fields." Yeah. That didn't happen. They went and got Gardner Minshew.
Marty, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Marty.
Hey guys, always a fun time, right? NFL free agency.
Crazy.
Little Birdie told me that last year nobody spent more money than the Denver Broncos. Just ask them how that went. I think, for the most part, I think it reeks of desperation for most of these teams. And it also tells me how bad they've bombed the NFL draft. A lot of these teams, you look at the Giants. Eagles, not so much. You look at the Commanders, year in, year out, top 10 picks. It looks like old Dan Quinn's going to take all the Cowboy ex-players and send them over there, see if we can get them back. But that's how I see the NFL free agency, because I can't recall a team, maybe the Eagles a couple of years ago, I don't know, a team that really just stockpiles on free agents and makes a great run. I just can't. And you look at the Chiefs last year, everybody was talking about, well, they couldn't go out and sign a receiver.
Yeah, they were fine.
Just ask them how that worked out. Yeah. So I just think you've got to draft well.
Great.
You've got to spend correctly. You can't overspend, and of course, you got to have that quarterback. But
yep, that's right.
It's interesting though, because it makes it fun for the fans, and that's what the NFL knows what to do best in any league.
No doubt.
Really quick before I go, I expect the Lobos in the Mountain West Final. My prediction.
All right.
Yep.
So that means that they're going to get through Boise State. They get through Air Force. They get through Boise State, and then they would get through. I got to find the other side of the bracket. I'm looking at the women's bracket. But so you got them winning on Friday night too, right? They would get through the 2-3 game.
If they beat Boise State, they win the whole thing. My prediction.
Well, then they got to get through probably Nevada or it'll be Colorado State or Nevada at that point in the next round.
That's okay. I just feel like if they get Boise State, they're going to win the whole thing.
All right. Appreciate you, Marty.
Okay.
That's good stuff. Always
right,
good.
guys.
Thanks. JJ, get through Air Force first. Get through Air Force first. Boise State's beat them twice. Boise State's a tough matchup with the big guards. And then I got to believe if they get through Boise State, probably Steve Alford, Nevada, looking at them on Friday night, right?
Yeah, if you get through Boise State, you're going to be confident in any matchup the rest of the way.
Yep. UNLV's on the other side. Utah State's on the other side. San Diego State's on the other side. So you wouldn't see them until Saturday night if you get there. All right, 505-246-0610. Make your call on the Lobos in the conference tournament. You can get in on the ladies getting beat last night, 67-56. They get knocked out in the quarterfinals. First game for them, one and done for the New Mexico women. We got a lot to do in this free agency stuff. Where does Justin Fields go? Is just not an issue anymore. Is it just an afterthought? There have been some signings this morning. And one of the baseball's greats of, might be your childhood, depending on how old you are, had a heart attack. He's okay. Who is he and what happened? We'll do that when we come back. Hey, I tell you about IPS all the time. because I really believe in what International Protective Service does. They are a layer of security. They are affordable, private security. They've been watching my home for years. Now my neighbors have employed IPS, and now you see them at retail outlets all over Albuquerque and Santa Fe watching stores, because theft at the stores is such a big deal. It's working for them. It works for me, and I believe it can work for you. You're not home all the time. You can't monitor your home all the time. They're there. If your alarm goes off, they're there within 7 minutes or less. Talk to them about installing cameras. They'll monitor your cameras, and then if they see something, they'll send somebody out, armed, trained security personnel, to make sure that everything's working. Your home's supposed to be a place of security. Look, if someone breaks in, it's devastating, and that sense of security is broken. Homes and businesses that are protected are far less likely to be targeted by the bad guys. Call IPS, see what they can do for you. You're going to like it. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. IPS, passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal.
The Sports Animal.
All right, you guys are in and in big today. Edward responded to Marty. Marty said, it feels like desperation. All the free agency going on. In some respect, I think it does. But Edward says 4 years ago, the Buccaneers picked up several free agents and won the Super Bowl. 3 years ago, the Rams picked up a few key free agents and they won the Super Bowl. And my response to that is it works if it's done correctly and it doesn't if it's done incorrect. Right? I mean, yeah, it works. You can make an argument on both sides of that one because everybody's active in free agency and only one team wins the Super Bowl. So, yeah, it works for some teams. Then the teams who win the Super Bowl go, yeah, look, we picked up some key free agents, made some key moves, got Matthew Stafford. Oh, by the way, signed Tom Brady and won the Super Bowl, right? And for others, you're like, yeah, it didn't work. My guy got hurt. Speech is in on the text line, 505-246-0610. Sam Darnold's a bridge. Hopefully, he says we, the Vikings, can trade up and get J.J. McCarthy from Michigan and sit him for years for the child love speech impediment man. Boy, people are so this is the polarizing quarterback of this draft, right? It is J.J. McCarthy. There are some who think he might be the second best quarterback in this draft, and there are some who think he might be the seventh best quarterback in this draft. I don't believe he's better than Drake May or Jaden Daniels. I'm struggling believing he's better than Michael Penix or Bo Nix. Where are you guys on J.J. McCarthy?
I'm with you on McCarthy. I don't see him as a top 3 quarterback. He's young, so a lot of people are talking themselves into, well, he still has a long way to go, which it's fair when you're drafting a quarterback and giving him that extended window. But I see him just like a Kenny Pickett style quarterback out of McCarthy.
Well, Ed, one thing you're going to hear about is the hand size. He's got the small hands.
Yeah, I think why people love him is Harbaugh. And Harbaugh's track record with quarterbacks, be it, Pickett, Colin Kaepernick, J.J. McCarthy, whoever, right? I mean, wherever he's been, he's done pretty well. And so, but I'm with you guys, right? I don't see it. And not because his hands aren't big. Yeah, your hands have to be a certain size to be able to firmly grip a football, to hold on to it when you're under pressure. And I think there's something to the hand size thing. I just don't think it's the end all.
I almost brought in an NFL football just so we could test.
It's truth.
Yeah. 9 inch. That's tough, man. I kind of thought that was a little bit hype with Pickett, but I realized,
especially when it's cold, man. So I've been on the sidelines, and I went to college games this year and just went to pick up a football in the cold with one hand. I'm like, whoa, I kind of almost need to grab it with two. Yeah.
Yeah, the NFL football is larger than the college football, so slightly. Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's interesting though, because I tell you, J.J. McCarthy, he gets a lot of run on national TV. And last week I was kind of like, this guy might have something. Peter Schrager did a really good package on him. Kurt Warner did a really good breakdown of him. So I was really high on him last week, but I've come back down to earth on that. I think he's I don't want to say bust, but he's one of those guys that's going to get a lot of run and probably not perform to that level.
Yeah, I don't know bust is right either. I just don't I don't think he's the top of this draft, especially this draft. Drake May, I think, is good. I think Jaden Daniels is terrific. I love the two West Coast guys. I really like Penix. And he's mature, he's older, he's 24. I understand he's been hurt. And watching Bo Nix develop, I think Bo Nix is a good pro quarterback. I do. What does that mean? Who is he? Could he? Let me ask you this. And JJ's going to laugh at me. Do you think Ryan Tannehill was a good pro quarterback?
Ryan Tannehill was a solid pro quarterback.
Yes. I think that's kind of what Bo Nix may end up being, which, by the way, is a pretty damn good career.
In the right system, you can go a long way with that. So it kind of becomes the luck of the draw in a way that if he goes to a team,
where do you land? Where do you land with?
Where do you land? So if you land in the right spot, you can be great. I think what this all boils down to is it's so difficult to judge college quarterbacks and how they're going to translate to the NFL.
Kurt Warner has made that really clear, and I don't know if you follow him on X at all, but he's really been. JJ, do you follow Kurt Warner on the Twitter?
I do,
and he's been really talking about and really vocal. And I think the way he's had the conversation is pretty good because people beat the crap out of him. But he's been watching tape of all these young quarterbacks. He says it's really hard to evaluate. Right? Well, Caleb Williams isn't going to get 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds in the pocket to throw like he did at USC. How's he going to be in 2.8 seconds? I thought was really fair when he escapes. Yeah, he's running away from dudes at Stanford. It's a little different than running away from dudes from the Vikings, right? I thought he's been really cerebral. I think evaluating quarterbacks, and it's shown over the years, man. Do you see what you said? And JJ, I think you agree. I mean, we've watched it over the years. It's hard to evaluate quarterbacks. That's why so many have not worked.
It's a system game. It's a talent game. And you see it, how you can have a Brock Purdy land in the right system and be really good when everyone else didn't think he was going to be that guy.
Text line, man, if Dallas Cowboys had an actual general manager instead of a wannabe, they'd be dangerous. Might be. All right, I got JJ. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 emails on Lobo women's basketball. Gonna get into that when we get back. 505-246-0610. Ladies get knocked out in the quarterfinals yesterday, 67-56. Fair to be critical of the ladies? I think it is. And you guys are certainly critical of the ladies and what's going on. It's the opening drive. That's next. Bring it. 505-246-0610. You're listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, lots going on in the National Football League. As it comes in, we will let you know. This morning, Aaron Jones, the former UTEP star, the former Green Bay Packers star, was released yesterday when the Packers went out and got Josh Jacobs, is signed this morning with the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings have Sam Darnold as their quarterback, and Aaron Jones is their new running back. That's going on this morning. We'll let you know as they come in. Tyrod Taylor is signed with the Giants this morning to be the backup for Aaron Rodgers. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. I want to give you this as well. For many of you, this is right in your era, maybe some of you before. Who are you guys? Darryl Strawberry. What's that mean to you?
Darryl Strawberry was the first athlete, period, that I would say I was a fan of.
Really?
Yeah, I remember very vague. I don't remember the 86 World Series, but I remember my mom got me this T-shirt.
Yeah.
And it was like a bobblehead, hand-drawn, kind of cartoonish with the world champion Mets on it. So Darryl Strawberry, Doc Gooden, like that whole team, that means something to me. So when I heard about that, he's had his struggles, but like he's always got a spot in my fandom.
JJ, Darryl Strawberry, anything to you?
Met star.
Yeah. Met star, played for the Dodgers, grew up in LA, went to Crenshaw High. Was kind of in his prime, was thought to be, if not the best, the word potential was always thrown around with Darryl Strawberry, be the best player in the game. Darryl Strawberry had a heart attack on Monday, which would be, I guess, yesterday, and posted a picture on Instagram and said that he's doing well. He said, "I'm so happy and honored to report that all is well." And he thanked the staff at the hospital, and they did a stent procedure. But he had a heart attack yesterday. He's 62 years old, and I'm going to go on a soapbox real quick, and then I'm going to get off. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but this just, if you guys, we don't go to doctors, okay? We don't. And if you feel something that's not right with your body, go get it checked. Darryl Strawberry had a heart attack. He had stents. I had stents put in. I was feeling something, years back in my heart. Right, like in my chest, something wasn't right. I finally got in, and they went in and said, "Dude, you 70 to 90% blocked 2 arteries. Like if I didn't go in and didn't listen to my body, Lord knows what would have happened." And they did a stent procedure on me as well. And it's just a PSA, man. I know we're dudes. I know we don't go to the doctor. I know you don't, whatever, man. I do it. You're not weak. You're not soft. You're not, you know what you are? You're human. And if you don't go at some point, the human part's going to catch up to it. So it's just a PSA, man. I got a little girl I need to be around for. I got stuff I got to do. And for me, I listen to my body. And JJ, you know that story. That was about 6, maybe 7 years ago now. That I went in for that procedure, and I'm glad I did. And I came out of it. Yeah, dude, you had 2 arteries, 70 to 90% blocked. We put in some stents, and I'm still here today. So just do it. I don't want to tell you what to do, but it's you're not weak, you're not soft, you're not but you are as human. And if you feel something and we all know our bodies, man. If something ain't right. You know the difference between being hurt and being injured, right? You know the difference between just kind of, oh, that's weird, or whoa, that's weird, right? Just a PSA for boys and ladies for that matter.
It's a good one. It's important.
All right,
you got to hear it. But dude, do you remember his swing?
Yeah,
it was like he whipped
that big long swing.
Yes, and it looked like he had like a 10-ounce bat. He just whipped it through so quickly. It was insane.
He was a freak, man. He was a freak of an athlete. All right, JJ, I got a lot already in. Lobo women's basketball loses last night in Vegas, 67-56 to San Diego State. Quarterfinals, they're out of the Mountain West Conference tournament. They are 21-11. This one's disappointing, and I'm going to read. And I understand your position, and I respect it so much, and I lean on you for perspective because you're with the ladies all the time. And I don't know how good this team was supposed to be. I know that they were picked 6th in the preseason poll. They finished 2nd. They went out early again. Text line, another early exit for the Lady Lobos and Bradbury. The days of Flanagan seem so long ago. What a disappointment. The days of Flanagan are long ago. I mean, that's just the bottom line. The days of Don Flanagan are long ago. Let me read this one from Dan. It says Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Dominic Chang. Dominic Chang. With all the D's they put in there, I don't know that they've ever got your first name right.
I think you're right about that. They got the C right a couple of times.
Yeah, but all right. Anyway, you're Don McChang. JD says the Lady Lobos had a lot of mediocre teams go to Vegas, but for 3 days it seemed like they developed superpowers inside those 4 walls of the Thomas and Mack. It didn't matter how the highfalutin the opponent was, they were going to have to play their best to beat the Lady Lobos, and even then it might not be enough. And their frenzied fans went nuts. Unfortunately, those powers have been missing. For the last several seasons, Lady Lobos have been helpless in Sin City and looked like regular women again last night, and as a result, it's another trip to the WNIT for them and their dwindling, disappointed fans. It's from Dan. First of all, Dan, I don't know that they're going to the NIT. I don't think that that's a guarantee by any means. And JJ, I want you to, if you want to respond as these come through. Dwindling, disappointing fans. Was this? It's a disappointment because you went in as the 2 seed and you got knocked out, right?
Absolutely. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. The team's not going to sugarcoat that. Do you think that bus ride felt good after the game? Of course not. Like, they're disappointed. And this team overachieved a bit in conference play, but even when you do that, their style of play, they felt like they were going to give themselves a chance. And to be so cold offensively last night and have no one hit an outside shot, it was really frustrating to watch. And the preparation, it was good. The team was in the same spot they've been in the entire season. They knew the challenge that San Diego State was. The Aztecs are a team that I think is actually underachieved a bit this season with the players that they have. And Bradbury told me post-game, he's like, they have to hit some outside shots in this game, and they absolutely did not do that.
Lobo Hobo says Bradbury is so full of bleep. That's what the subject line is. Says Jeff in the post-game, he said the Aztecs are the 2nd most talented team in this league, and that Stacey Terry did a great job. That's not her name, is it? If any of that was true, then why was San Diego State the 7th seed? With double question. It's Lobo Hobo. Again, I'm going to lean on you because you follow this way closer than I do.
San Diego State is a team that's really hot and cold. On their best days, like last night, they're pretty good. And I think there was not a big gap between 2 through 7 in terms of just straight talent. You saw yesterday too, Boise State knocking out the 3 seed Wyoming. And I think with what we saw with New Mexico and Wyoming, there was just a level of consistent play, not necessarily them being the most talented teams. They just were the most consistent teams in conference play.
All right, Ken is in. He says, oh, my goodness, how presage was this, Jeff? OD callers deserve a blue trophy. Who said breaking from the 2-hole didn't seem like a good fit for the Lady Lobos? Was it Candelaria? The Lady Lobos just never looked comfortable. It looked like even early Bradbury was having to ask them. For months, Lady Lobo fans have told me that they had to avoid UNLV. But isn't it more important to line yourself up to give yourself the best chance in the first game before worrying about the Rebels? It's from Ken. Yeah, you got to get there first. Look, if you were, I don't think, JJ, and again, you were there, I'm not. I'll be there today. I was looking forward to seeing them tonight. I don't think they were looking past anybody. You told me all year that after number 1, like 2 through 8 in this league were basically the same, the same amount of talent. Like anybody 2 through 8 could beat anybody.
Yeah, and when you get to the final standings, people aren't going to listen to that. I'm not going to try to convince anyone different to not be disappointed. It was incredibly disappointing. The team was disappointed. The players were hurt. Everyone was frustrated about that performance, but it really wasn't that big of a gap. And the Aztecs, again, it's the Aztecs on the women's side are kind of like how Boise State is to the men. Like, just the size really frustrates them.
Matchups. All right, Richard says, rotating your cheerleaders, your chaparrals, Jeff, with Lobo basketball having 4 must-win games in 4 days, you can't send the same group of girls that just lost with the Lady Lobos as the 2 seed. You got to bring in some fresh girls trying to get more production out of these positions, right? Thank you, Richard. See what he did there? You got to rotate the cheer squad, so you get everybody. Everyone's a Lobo, woof, 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 and so you get it right. Everybody's all fired. That's fair. David says, good morning, Jeff. Good morning, David. It says, kudos to the Lady Lobos for exceeding expectations, finishing second in the Mountain West regular season. However, can't ignore the fact that in Bradbury's 8 seasons, the Lobos are 3-8 in conference tournament, just 2-4 as the number 1 or 2 seed, and 0 in capital letters championship game appearances. It's from David. No, you can't, JJ, you can't ignore it. And, he's living in the shadow. And the shadow's long cast. Don Flanagan built a program that was regularly there. Whether Yvonne Sanchez lived up to regular season expectations for Lobo women's fans or not, her teams in the conference tournament were regularly making a run. And I say regularly making a run. I mean, they won a game, would show up in a conference championship game. Mike's teams haven't, and I know that's bothering him, and I know that's on his mind, and I know that's on his resume, and obviously Lobo fans are eating that, and they're struggling swallowing it right now.
And that's one of those things that's not going to be explained, that's not going to go away until this team is able to go on a run here in Las Vegas. And until that happens, that's going to be a shadow over this team and come conference tournament time.
Rod says, reply to Rudy C., be careful what you ask for, Jefferson. He wants the men's and women's tournament at the same time. The only way with one built is to go back to just taking the top 8 seeds. In the year that Lobo basketball finishes 9th and stays home, he's going to be the first one crying. P.S. Tell JJ to say hello to Wayne Newton for me. JJ, say hello to Wayne Newton for Rod when you see him.
I'll try to do that.
Yeah, do that. Gopher says, you asked for a prediction, Jeff. I think a tired Lobo basketball gets past the Flyboys by 7 or 8, then gets blued out by Boise State and that guy, 91-76. My hot take is Utah State does not make the finals. That's from Gopher. Jack says, Lady Lobos hot take, JJ. I think we're going to find out Rayus, Augman, and Cucumber were more tired and banged up than we're being told. Okay. Where's the?
By the way, they haven't been hiding that.
Yeah. Well, Augman certainly.
Augman's playing with a knee brace. Cumbers hasn't been 100%, but they haven't used that as an excuse, man. They just went out there, showed up, played hard.
I'm going to wrap this segment up with your favorite one. You know what's coming right here? Do you know what email's coming? I know you do. It's from James. James is the least surprised person in the build, Jeff. The Lady Lobos look exhausted again. Why are they practicing in September when the real playing doesn't begin until now? It's called March, not January madness, which is when the Phillies peak every season. From James. They shouldn't practice until, I don't know, March? He's the one who's, why are they practicing in September? Why are they doing that? But yeah, by the way, the team that beat them yesterday, San Diego State, JJ, you want to bet they practiced in September, maybe even August? You want to bet?
It might have been.
Yeah, I'm going to think UNLV did too. Let me guess. South Carolina and LSU, who went at each other, that you think they practiced in September too?
No,
they didn't start till January.
I thought it was February.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, they didn't look tired.
They had to keep it in the tank.
Yep. All right, I got a sweet deal. This is one of our most popular sweet deals every year. It is a sports-related sweet deal. That's coming up here in a little bit. I want you to get in on if you got more on Lady Lobos, take it. I mean, what did I just read you? 8 emails on that? I mean, it matters. Give me another market in America where that matters like that, but maybe Stores, Connecticut. Columbia, South Carolina, potentially.
I know Iowa's traveling real well.
Yeah, right now. I'll bet Iowa City. Oh, probably true. When we come back, bid Steelers on the men's side, predictions for the men's side, and I got a sweet deal for you. Kenny Thomas is going to be with us, I think, coming up at 9:00. We'll kick it with Kenny as well, the former Lobo great. On the opening drive, JJ's in Vegas. We're merely in downtown Burke, which is a good place to be on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
For surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom. Boom.
Animal is in Vegas. JJ's there. Mountain West Conference Tournament. Lobo women lose in the quarterfinal yesterday, 67-56. DC, we'll hear a little bit, I think, from Mike Bradbury coming up in a bit. I'll be out there later today. I don't know. JJ, what time are you coming back? You staying? What are you doing?
I will be back home tonight.
All right. Well, welcome home at some point. You sound a lot better, by the way. Forrest is sitting in your seat. Say hi to Forrest.
Hey, JJ.
He's not taking.
Keep your seat warm, I promise.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
He's taking over. JJ's there. I'll be there. Want to say thank you to the partners who make sure that we are in Vegas at the Mountain West Conference Tournament to bring you the content that we'll be able to bring you all week. DSI Document Solutions Incorporated, New Mexico. Boost your productivity and reduce your costs with DSI. Frontier Restaurant in Albuquerque, tradition for more than 50 years. Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor. Airport parking, easier, quicker, smarter, and Coleman Vision. Perfect vision, perfect game. JJ Forrest stopped by. It's, I believe, our most popular, at least one of the most popular sweet deals that we have every year. You know what it is?
Ooh, I think it has something to do with baseball and Bucks.
It is.
Smart man.
It is baseball Bucks. Dude, we're like 2 weeks away from opening day. Is that right?
17 days.
Is that like 2 weeks?
Pretty much, yeah. 2 weeks and a couple of days.
I mean, if I say it's like 2 weeks, you know, like the kids do. If I say like 2 weeks,
we'll accept it.
I mean,
what is 2 weeks?
Well, yeah. See, that would be different. 2 weeks. It's like 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks from Friday. All right, here's what we got for you. A sweet deal today: baseball bucks. So these are a book of bucks. They come in $2 increments, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And they're $56 worth of dollars. And you buy them for just $28, which means you get $28 free dollars to spend out at Isotopes Park. They're good for tickets. They're good for concessions. What I've learned over the years, they're good for beer.
Merchandise, everything, Orbit's Fun Zone, essentially anything at the ballpark, you can use these baseball bucks.
Orbit's Fun Zone, beer, whatever, whichever side.
It depends on your audience, I guess, you know.
I kind of was just telling you a story. Back in the day, it was Orbit's Fun Zone. Now it's
strictly beer.
But it's good. They'll be available on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. You click on the sweet deal icon and eat them up quick because, boys and girls, these things go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we all know that Isotopes is one of the most fun things to do in Albuquerque. And
it's a whole new ballgame.
A whole new ballgame. Still is 22 years later. And when you have the opportunity to get, 28 free bucks, how can you pass that up? So, if you don't want to give your kid your credit card, because it's a cashless facility.
That's another, you know what? That's so key, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That is so
these
key.
bucks and let them run loose for the next few innings, and they'll be great.
Back in the day, my kid, here, go get some Dippin' Dots. I'd give her 20, bring me back some change. Now it's like, I got to give her the card.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys.
That's when it gets, what do I do here, folks? I don't know.
Do I want to go with her? Do I trust her? All right, here, just bring it back. Don't ding it too hard. How you looking, boys? I mean, do you know what's going on over there? It was good to sit down with Pilo a couple weeks ago.
Absolutely.
By the way, can I tell you, what do you think was the best part of that whole thing?
Oh, man, probably just him explaining why he wanted to get back into managing. And I think kind of telling his story about what makes him, such enjoy it as much as he does.
That was the second best part.
What was the first best part?
Chef's carne asada.
Oh, my God.
I mean, the carne asada that you
Chef
served
Jim
that morning,
Griego.
dude. And I know Jim's got new creations that are coming out here in the next week and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Week and a half. How about that?
Yeah.
Because
we caught that.
No, but when I saw him, he's, no, I got some going. I said, what do you got? He's like, I can't tell you. I'm like, dude, like, do you know how many secrets I keep?
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
your
not
job,
gonna lie.
right?
Were you out there that morning for the breakfast? I tried to get Dale out. JC out there.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't come. He had an invitation.
He didn't like the breakfast. And I told you this. I don't come out for a lot of your meals. I don't eat a lot of meals out there. But I mean, Chef fed us that morning, and the carne asada was terrific.
Oh yeah, and I'm lucky to have 75 meals by him
You
every.
get 75 meals?
Yeah, but the press box.
Yeah, and they're usually pretty.
Oh
good,
yeah,
right?
oh
That's what I
yeah,
hear.
he does okay.
How's the club? Any idea what we're looking like as far as a roster?
Yeah, I mean, we won't have the official roster for another few weeks, for like 2 weeks.
Like 2 weeks, yeah, so 17 days. Yeah.
But they've sent some guys down from big league camp to minor league camp, so we kind of have an idea of who's going to be there. I think.
Do you go to spring training?
Not yet.
When are you going?
I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
In like a week?
Hopefully in like a week. Yeah, that's the hope. But we should be seeing a lot of the Rockies' top 10 prospects this year. A lot of those guys have finished the year at AA in 2023. So at some point during this season, we should be seeing the majority, if not all, of their top 10 prospects. So it should be one of the better teams
so
you've
good.
had in a number of years. It's based on the talent
Sid,
coming
cue
through.
your email. I want to win, damn it. When are we raising a flag at that freaking place? It's been like 20-something years.
We need a pennant. Let's go.
Seriously, man.
Yeah.
JJ, you got anything on the Rockies or the Isotopes or Baseball Bucks or
Well,
beer
I'm just
or
super
Fun
excited
Zone?
for the Fun Zone, for the Baseball Bucks, the energy out there. It's great, man. There's just certain things that you can't mess up, and this is one of those things.
Yeah, Topes Tower, man. That's a thrilling ride.
How do you know? You ever been on it? You're
Nah,
too damn heavy
nah,
for
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah. I'm over the height limit, I
Yeah,
think.
you got to
Yeah.
be about 4 foot nothing. I mean,
I've heard great stories, though.
Dicito may like that.
He loves it.
Does he? Has he been
loves
out there?
Oh yeah, yeah.
DC's little boy, Dicito.
Okay.
Yeah, he turns 5 tomorrow.
Oh,
that right?
perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Happy birthday!
They got to get him some tickets to opening night, it sounds like.
I might have a guy.
Let me ask you this, Forrest. June 2nd, Science Night. What's going down on Science Night?
So we're going to have, some local science partners come out to the ballpark and kind of just on the concourse and do science. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's
so
awesome. We're gonna blow crap up.
I think high school volcano.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
baking soda and vinegar thing.
That's what I expect. Yeah.
But and then outside we're really gonna blow crap up. Like you're not.
Wait, what?
You're not gonna blow stuff up?
Oh crap! I don't know. This is news to me.
I mean, it's a science night, right?
Sounds like fun.
All right, here
It's all interactive though, so it should be a lot of fun.
I know.
That's
I know.
awesome.
Hey, Michelle, thanks for stopping in. Though it's good to see you. It was nice. We good? Like I know you got a whole schedule. I could keep you here for a while. I mean, are you watching the hoops at all?
Oh, for sure.
You watching Lobo basketball?
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
gotten into? I know you're not from here, but when
Yeah.
but you're here for a little bit.
I went to
you're
like
from
10 or 12 games this year at the pit. Man, it's
fun.
one of my favorite things to do in the off season. Just go down to the pit, because there's such a
Baseball
big-
bucks don't work there.
Oh, I wish they did.
Yeah,
believe
they
me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a great energy level at the pit. And it's a really fantastic team this year, I think. I think that Air Force loss really hurt them, their chances of getting in the tournament. I feel like if they would have won that game, that would have solidified their chances at, at least an 8 or 9 seed. But with that loss, it kind of puts pressure on them to get to that champ game in the Mountain West tournament.
Yeah, I think they got to at least get to the semifinals.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah, you have to because they're playing Air Force in the
Air
first
Force-
game,
you
right?
got
So
Air
you
Force
have
the
to
first-
beat them regardless.
Have to beat them, and I think they got to get through Boise State. I
Yep.
really do, and then we'll see. All right, Jade, you got anything else for him? You want some like carne asada? Did you like that stuff that morning?
Oh, that was fantastic.
It was even more fantastic. JJ's swing. I think we said that last time I was here, but kind of
I
bring
had
that
a
up again.
bounce. Yeah, we had. What did we? Oh, we
Dude
went to
can
the
swing it.
That USA track and field. I had to go pick up the child and go to that thing.
Oh yeah, we were hoping to see you to catch some video
I
of
can
Jeff
still do
Symbieta and his element in the batting cage.
That's right. I was like I told you, that 1-hole, 2-hole hitter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sitting the table.
That's right. I was getting on base. All right, Baseball Bucks. You get half off. So here's your deal. Go online, sportsanimалabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon. Do it at 9 o'clock. If you get in at 9:07, 9:04, you're on your own, man. If you get in at 9, it's kind of like the Southwest Airlines thing. You kind of hit it right at 24 hours. I got a B12, right? Bingo. Get in right at 9 o'clock. $56 worth of bucks. It costs you $28. And if you buy 2, then you do the math. But it's good for beer, tickets, food, hot dogs, shirts, hats, brats,
Fun
carne
zone,
asada,
everything under the sun there.
Whatever else they got out there. But do it at sportsanimалabq.com. Opening night's in like 2 weeks. It's in 17 days, 2 weeks from
To
Friday.
be exact, yeah. 16 days, 10 hours, you know.
It's on the calendar, dude. We'll be there. And the beauty is, I've been traveling so much. You got an early opening night. Addie and I missed opening night. She grew up at the ballpark, so we get to go to opening night this year.
We're fantastic! Please stop by. Let us know.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal for us. Congratulations on all the success. Safe
Yes,
travels.
sir.
Hopefully, you get out to spring training in like a week and a half.
That's the
or
hope,
something.
likely.
Yeah, likely. Get your baseball bucks, and it's good to see you, man. Have a
Yes,
great
sir. You
season.
too. Thanks, Jeff.
It's the opening drive.
Later, JJ.
JJ's in Vegas. He said later to you, man. See, look at him. He's sitting in your seat. He said he's been super polite. I just can't see you.
He's
The
fantastic.
opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey, sports animal.
This report brought to you by the Albuquerque Journal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Meyer here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-2...
And reduce your costs with DSI and by Frontier Restaurant, an Albuquerque tradition for more than 50 years.
OD in your AM. It's more AM where JJ is. It's an hour earlier. He's in Vegas. Text line says, when will we ever learn? Well, it's only 7:30 a.m. in Vegas. Yeah, it's an hour earlier in Vegas. He set that at 8:27. See, the 6 a.m. thing hurts a little bit in Vegas. I don't know why, doesn't it? I mean, you sound better than you did an hour ago.
Well, you know me. I'm not someone that was out till 3 or 4 a.m. It's just
2:30.
Caught up with me, man. Not 100%, and call a game, and the voice decided to go.
Yeah, that's how it goes. All right, on the baseball bucks, text line from Celeste says, you have to pick up baseball bucks at Cumulus, ? How will we know when they're available for pickup? You'll get the email. You got an email registration, and I don't run the sweet deal, but I got to believe they're going to send you an email, and you can pick them up. This one, JJ, regarding women's basketball, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. It's from Dad. Are you feeling more mad or disappointment for Lobo women's basketball?
Feels like disappointment.
Okay.
But I think it's probably more mad on people's end this morning that are contributing to the show.
Yeah, I think I hate doing this, man. You know how I was telling Jerry Palm from CBS the other day, there's teams when you get to the postseason, and I just hate lumping it, but you get to a point after so many years. Purdue and Arizona, every year I think they're really good in the men's basketball tournament, right? And every year I pick them to go deep, and many of you do too in your bracket. And this isn't a woe is me story. It's kind of a, you just get to a point where, all right, it's going to be hard to pick Purdue and Arizona this year, right? It's just their teams, their programs who have struggled in the postseason. I guess Lobo women have to be considered in the way we're getting emails and texts this morning, somewhat the same way, just because of the last decade, right?
Yeah, the record is, what, 3-8?
I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
So you can't spin that.
Yeah. All right, this one says, my most vivid memory of Darryl Strawberry is when Bart Simpson makes him cry by heckling him in the episode where Monty Burns gets all the pros to play for the company softball. It's a fair, good, vivid memory of Darryl Strawberry, huh?
I have not thought about that in years. That is hilarious. My goodness, that was such a good episode.
Yeah. Yep. You know, that damn show, what's it been on for 25 years? And he keeps spitting out new content?
I bet it's closer to 35 years.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, every week, new content.
It's insane. How good, that's where the Isotopes thing came from. You knew that, right?
I did.
The Albuquerque Isotopes, yes. Where that came from. Jack says, yawn. Is it really 5 a.m. in Vegas with the recent time change? Yeah, it's 5 a.m. Sid's in on the Duke's dollars unless they pay Sid to go. I'm not going out to watch losing baseball. All right, Sid. You're not. So that's one less person I got to compete for these baseball bucks at 9 o'clock. I'm getting me some this year, dang it. Because that's just when we go out to the park here. I can give Audra money. Here, go buy instead of giving her my credit card. Give Addie, here, go. Right? And by the way, it's money I spend now and I don't spend then. You know what I'm saying?
All of these things sound like good things.
Yeah. I mean, when you figure beer is, what am I paying for beer?
$12 or so?
I think 14? It's about that, 12 or 14. Yeah. I think that's about right. Carl's in on women's basketball. Here, Lynn says, can I pick your WNIT brain, JJ? I keep hearing, even with an RPI of 150 plus, there's this thing called an auto bid for the highest finisher, not in the real tournament, and the Lady Lobos are already in. Is that true? Did they turn it down, or do they turn it down? I just don't see another Vegas disappointment Lady Lobo fans packing Johnson Gym. It's from Lynn. I know nothing about that, JJ. Do you? I mean, you know more about this than I do.
I will have to look into it because I know they made changes between what the previous WNIT, which was a third-party ran event with 64 teams, and now the NCAA tournament is running an NIT with 32 teams. So I'll have to get like the specifics on that.
Yeah, and I don't know that it's the highest finisher. It used to be if a team won the regular season championship and did not get the auto bid to the NCAA tournament, this was on the men's side, that they would get they automatically win the NIT. So if you win, let's just say Grand Canyon wins the WAC regular season, but Cal State Bakersfield, are they still in that league? They're not. Seattle wins the conference tournament, then Grand Canyon would go to the NIT as the regular season champ that didn't get the auto bid. And I want people to understand this too. This is a real conversation when we talk about the NCAA men's tournament. JJ, I'm on this bandwagon. You know I am. All these teams are already in the NCAA tournament. Every one of them. Sanford played for a championship yesterday, and Evansville and New Mexico, and everybody's. You're in now. You keep winning. You keep playing. And I know that not everybody loves that take. You're in. Once you get into tournament season, you're in you're winning advance. And for New Mexico Lobos women, if they would have won 3 or games, they'd be in the NCAA tournament. And I know we want to expand it. If the Lobos are in right now, if they win 4 games, Lobo men. I know not everybody's on that bus. I am. You're not, are you?
I don't think there should be like gigantic expansion in the NCAA tournament. I don't. I think this is something that works. If you want to have a conversation about resumes and should you count conference tournament, I think that's an interesting discussion. Especially when it comes to the smaller school teams and being on the bubble, and the fact that, like in Indiana State is going to get left out just because everyone else is still playing and has these opportunities.
Yeah.
But this is something in sport that is not broken.
I can't agree with you more. I mean, to me, it is. I think it's the best sporting event in our country. It's a 3-week tournament that everybody has an opportunity to be in on, that everybody gets into it because they have a bracket or they have an alma mater, or every fifth year, you go to Farley Dickinson and that was your alma mater and they get in, or San Diego State or New Mexico State or whoever, right? And your answer would be, well, then it'd be more inclusive and more people would get in. But there's another if word that matters, an exclusive. And you're going to tell me, what about bowl games? Bowl games, they're not all competing for a championship. This is for a championship. The bowl games are essentially, I guess, like the NIT, if you're looking for that. But I don't know, man. It feels to me we've created something so good and so special and so not broked. And I understand that there's more and more teams, and I understand the percentages, and I understand coaches get bonused on getting to the NCAA tournament, and they want their money. But to me, it's so good. Kenny Thomas will be here coming up at 9 o'clock, I think. We'll talk to him about his thoughts on expanding the tournament, global basketball as well. Keep them coming, 505-246-0610. That is the text line and the phone line. Your emails are coming in. Boy, are they coming in at a pace, too. They're coming in at Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. I drive at night. I drive at day. I do stuff. I don't wear glasses. I wear reading glasses just because, you hit a point in your life and you wear reading glasses. But you know why I do all that? It wasn't always that way. I had LASIK at Coleman Vision a little over 20 years ago, and it is one of the best things I ever did. I'm glad I went to see Dr. Stephen Coleman. He changed my life. I was anchoring news in the morning. I was getting up at 3, getting in at 4, putting on my makeup and my contacts, and at 4:30, it was miserable. And so I went to see him, and I had a high degree of astigmatism. I didn't know what I had. I just knew I couldn't see far. And so we scheduled the surgery at 1 o'clock in the afternoon one day. I opened my eyes and instantly could see across the room. I anchored the news at 5 o'clock the next morning without lenses and have been that way ever since. If you are thinking about ditching the lenses, contacts, glasses, you're thinking about LASIK, can I strongly suggest Dr. Stephen Coleman at Coleman Vision? He is the top of his field, not just locally, but nationally and internationally when it comes to this. He's been on the cutting edge technology that's being used around the world. It was originated right here at Sandia Labs in New Mexico, and people come from everywhere to have LASIK done at Coleman Vision. You can walk into his office, which is beautiful and comfortable, and you're going to see people like you and me, people in the healthcare system. They're doctors, they're lawyers, they're firefighters, they're housewives, they're people who work in construction, or they're athletes, or they're everybody who gets LASIK. And he'll tell you if you're a candidate. He'll do an exam, and if you're not, he'll give you some suggestions, and if you are, he'll give you some ideas. If you want to watch one of his surgeries just to get a comfort level, you can. It's all online at ColemanVision.com. Go to ColemanVision.com or 505-821-8880. Make an appointment at 505-821-8880.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's, powered through your...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Animal.
All right, looking forward to catch up with Kenny Thomas here in a few minutes. Former Lobo great. We'll kick it with Kenny. It's the opening drive. Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck. JJ's in Vegas. Conference tournament is underway. Lobo women get beat last night, 67-56, quarterfinals of the Mountain West Conference tournament. So they're one and done. This was JJ Buck asked the question. Mike Bradbury is the head coach of Lobo women's basketball after the game. Obviously disappointed. They were the number 2 seed. They had a lot higher expectations. Ended up finding themselves down 13-1. Fought back, but we're playing uphill all night. And this is Mike Bradbury after the game with J.J. Buck.
We really competed, but, I mean, they're just they're bigger and better. I mean, they're the second best team in the league and talent-wise. And, they're finally playing like it. And, they killed us on the boards. They made every shot, and we didn't make as many as we normally do. But that's a really good team, and they do a good job, and Stacy does a really good job. So they're playing to their talent level right now, and they'll be a tough out.
JJ, it hit me when I heard it last night. It hit me again in the face just now. They're bigger and better. You're the 2 seed. They're the 7 seed. Are they bigger and better than New Mexico?
They're bigger. They do have the size advantage, 1 through 5. Now, Charlotte Cole is big, but the problem is when you have Kayzada playing the 5, 6'1", she's quick, and so that's kind of takes Charlotte Cole out of the game, which is why Ulda Joachim, her emergence in the second half of conference play was huge for the Lobos. But you saw that on the boards, the missed shots from New Mexico, and there was no second chance opportunities, just 4 offensive rebounds for the Lobos because we have the size that San Diego State does. It dominated the game last night.
I'm trying to really walk away from the moment, and I want to put it in perspective. I want to look at it and say, you know what? For a team that was picked 6th, finished 2nd, they had a really good year. And I know the disappointment from Lobo women's basketball fan is, and here you are, you go into the tournament as the 2 seed and get beat by double digits in your first game again. And so I'm trying to walk away from the moment. You were with them every day this year. You called every game. 21-11, second place, losing the first round. Was the season a success?
I think they can be proud of what they accomplished in the season and disappointed about what happened last night. I do think that, this team believed that they could do something and believed that they could compete at a higher level in Las Vegas, and that's why that they were hurting. They're disappointed. But what they did this year, I think if you listen to any of the players or talk to any of the players, like, this was a team that came together and did something that they weren't really expecting, and it's to be a second place team in the Mountain West Conference. And when you're second place and you lose your opening game, there's no way to spin that, and I understand that. And the frustration, the disappointment from fans, it should be there with how they went out. But I think from the team standpoint, the way they came together, the way they grew, everyone can come back next year, and if they do, I think that will give them a ton of confidence.
All right, we'll kick it with Kenny next. We'll talk more basketball. And anything that happens in the free agency market, we'll let you know. If you woke up late this morning, Aaron Jones and Sam Darnold are both Vikings now. The running back and the quarterback signed with the Vikings. But as it continues, we'll go update you on Dak Prescott suing a woman who accused him of sexual assault. That came down yesterday. I want to get you up to date on that. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. Kenny Thomas, the former Lobo great, due to be with us next as we kick it with Kenny. JJ's in Vegas. DC and I are in beautiful downtown Borque. And you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquerque. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This is was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Smarter, Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor, DSI Document Solutions Inc. NM. Boost your productivity and reduce your costs with DSI and by Frontier Restaurant, an Albuquerque tradition for more than 50
You're
years.
drunk. Plastic. Intoxicating. Rip plaster. Destroy, bro. You're like this. You shouldn't be driving.
Why did it turn green on me? Is that the wrong card number? Hold on. Talk to me, JJ. What's up? I'm finding a sweet deal.
A
JJ's
sweet
in
deal.
Vegas.
It's live. Baseball bucks. Get it. You need it.
I am.
Ice Soaps Baseball.
All right, it's
How do you
live.
not have an assistant for this?
I know. No, really. All right, so pay. What? Well, I want to take my card, dude.
Uh-oh.
I'm choked. I'm not going to get it now. Oh, well. I try every year for this one. We got Kenny yet? All right. We got a big week going on. Lobo men's basketball is in the Mountain West Conference tournament. They will play tomorrow against Air Force. Kenny Thomas, the former Lobo great, long-time NBA veteran, is with us. What's up, Kenny Thomas? What's up, Kenny Thomas?
Man, what's up?
What are you
I'm
doing?
here.
All right.
How you guys doing?
Just want to make sure we're good. Life's good.
Yeah,
man.
we're good, my guy.
All right. Did you see the ladies last night at all? Hey, I won. By the way, I got my baseball bucks. I'm stoked. You see the ladies?
Oh, wow, that's nice.
The sweet deal.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
bro.
it's
I'm
the
happy
sweet
for
deal.
you.
I'm happy for
But
me
I'm
too.
sad. Yeah, I'm sad for the Lady Lobos, though. I think they had a great season. I saw the final score. JJ, how was the vibes after the game? A lot of positive energy or anything like that? What's going on over there? I think they had a great year.
It was super disappointing, man. You know how it is after a game like that. You expected to compete better. Didn't give
Hello?
yourself a chance against the Aztecs. So, yeah.
Oh, you can't hear JJ, can you? He was just talking to you.
Oh, no, I can't hear JJ. I can only hear you.
I guess, yeah, because Kenny's on the phone. I guess
I heard JJ earlier.
You did. Yeah, I guess that's going to
Yeah.
be a thing. Let me ask you this, man.
What's up, bud?
Everybody's been in on Don Flanagan. Dan just said, let's not spend too much time kissing Flanagan's ass. He really hung around 5 years too long. Lady Lobos weren't cutting down the nets at the end of his reign. I think 2008 was his last title. Tarky Court hasn't been wise west in a long time. Look, when Flanagan was here, they were winning. They set set a standard that maybe has lasted too long. The Bradbury's 3-8 in conference tournaments, and they haven't been to a championship game since Ivan Sanchez was the coach. Do you get a reputation? And I look at Purdue, I look at Arizona in the men's tournament. It's tough to, I don't know, get over a reputation that you can't win in the postseason. What do you make of something like that? Because there's so many factors
Well,
that go into it.
it's been, Lobos women basketball, when I was there, they were good. They had a lot of talent on the team. Obviously, between Flanagan and Yvonne, they set a precedence, right? I feel like it might be kind of the same thing with my situation. I set a precedence, right, to a certain extent. And Lobo basketball overall, I think, is trying to get back to having that certain standard. The fact that Albuquerque is a smaller community when it comes to certain situations, but I feel like obviously the Lobo men's team has, over the last couple of years, have brought that back, and I feel like the women's program has too. And then you got to remember when all that stuff, when the ladies, a lot of the ladies on the Lobo team actually left. So I like the fact of where they're at right now, and it's only been like a year or two since that situation happened.
All right. Kenny Thomas is with us. We're kicking it with Kenny. Tough one on Saturday, man. I thought Lobos played their backsides off in Logan. They play without Jamal Mashburn Jr. They get beat on a Darius Brown 3. I said on yesterday, I said, man, sometimes the other dude just
Can you
makes a
guys
play.
hear me? I can't hear anything.
So you're not hearing me at all? You can't hear me talking to you right now? Can you hear me?
Now I can.
All right.
Now I can.
Yeah, I want to talk about the game in Logan the other day. And
Yeah.
Darius Brown hits the shot at the end. And I said, sometimes, man, it wasn't somebody's fault. I look at the last defensive play, and House came out, and, he dropped down because the ball was in Asabar. Darius Brown just hit a shot, man. As a good player that hit a shot to win a championship, sometimes do you have to tip your hat, or should they have done something differently on that last play?
I totally agree with you, man. You said it perfectly. The first one, you got to tilt your hat. Obviously, Brown is a good player. I think he's up for Player of the Year. I was so stoked after the game doing the Lobo Live talk show that they only lost by 2 points. I was really stoked that they went in there and they fought hard. They kept it close, and then they had opportunities. Obviously, we can point about different things that happened throughout the game that probably affected the outcome, but you gotta just be stoked. And then, we had a record breaking of 20-25 calls that game, and it felt good. There was a lot of positive energy.
There was,
and I just love the momentum coming off of a Fresno State game at home that you kind of blew them out, which you were supposed to. And then you go down to Logan, and it's a 2-point loss, man. I'm stoked.
And you played without Jamal Mashburn.
Exactly. Huge factor. But the fact that, I forgot his name, he came in and Webb came in and played well. Obviously, he's going to be a guy that's going to be the future. But it's going to be interesting to see because, obviously, with UNM losing at home to Air Force, but they went down there to Air Force and won that game, I think tomorrow is going to be an interesting game. And to throw this out there, we are doing the post-game show now, but I will be on the road while Brandon's in the studio tomorrow after the game.
All right. He's Kenny Thomas. So, can Kenny hear JJ or JJ can? All right, JJ, go ahead and you can talk to Kenny, I think, now.
You got me?
I got you, JJ. What's up, bud?
What's up, man? What's up? So the mindset, how did it shift conference tournament week just to focus the intensity?
Well, it kind of goes back to what I just said. The momentum is there, so I feel like the shift has already happened. Playing on a neutral court, I think it's going to be. I think the Mountain West Conference is going to be interesting to see who comes out of it, because there's a lot of teams that can win at any given moment, and I think Air Force is going to be coming in there with a lot of momentum. But I feel like the shift right now, the Lobos should have more momentum in the fact that even the awards that they just got, JT just got Freshman of the Year, and I think House was a part of the defensive team and things like that. But yeah.
And with that, with this team, what we saw at Utah State, I'm right there with you, man. I think it was just a great game, back and forth, tough ending. What do you think the confidence level of that team, especially doing that without Mashburn and knowing that he's going to be back in the line?
Man, I've been saying this when people have been trying to pound on Mashburn. No, you can't pound on that man. I feel like he's playing some great ball right now. And think about it. Even if he's hurt, people are out there thinking that he's hurt. If he's hurt, he had a whole week off, right? You would think if he's not practicing. But he had a couple of days in between to get some more rest. I feel like he's going to come out even more on fire because if there are some injuries, he's had more time to rest. But I feel like JT needs to get the ball inside.
Mm-hmm.
They need to run plays for him, period. And Nelly, keep rebounding, do what you do on both ends on the boards, on the offense on both sides. And then they just need to get out and run. Don't settle for a perimeter shot just because you have it. It's not about your ego. It's not about I. It's about them.
I love the big man saying, feed the big man the ball.
Man, I'm not just saying that because I'm a big man, but he's earned that, man.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Give him the ball.
I agree. I'm going to ask you about the end of the game and the whole craziness with the missed free throw and it didn't hit the rim.
Yeah.
Terry said, I was only able to listen to the first segment of Kenny's postgame show Saturday. Curious what he thinks about the refs not knowing the rules on the free throw not hitting the rim. And so your thoughts on the way it ended? Look, let me give you mine real quick. I don't know that it would have changed the outcome, but you can't let the game end like that. You just can't.
Yeah, I think there's been so many different opportunities of referees and different people getting hurt because the referees probably felt like they might bum rush the floor.
Yep.
But they still got to stay there and finish the game. There should have been a whistle blown. Like, they were even anticipating a whistle being blown. And then House ends up getting the ball right there from the free throw line. Come on, man. That was just foul and all, and it's all right. But then at the same time, how do you go about putting point whatever
it would have been 2.8
with everybody rushing the floor?
Yeah, it would have been 2.8. Well, a couple of things. If House would have made that shot, because people have said, well, House had the ball. If he'd have made that shot, it wouldn't have counted. And you're like, what do you mean? It would have tied the game up. Well, Danny Sprinkle would have lost his mind, their coach, and he'd have made the refs look, and they would have looked back at the replay, realized that it didn't touch the rim, and they'd have put 2.8 seconds on the clock. And by the way, Lobo fan, if you bet the game, you're glad it didn't go up. JJ, I'm pretty sure the spread was 2.5, and they won by Utah State won by 2. So if you put 2.8 on the clock, you'd have fouled them, and then you lost your bet as well as you'd have lost the game. I'm just saying.
I think it was 4.5, but was it 4.5 or 2.5?
Did it swell to 4.5? All right, then maybe it wouldn't have mattered. All right, then maybe it wouldn't have. All right, I want to talk to you when we get back a little bit about going into the tournament, and then we'll hit some NBA stuff. But your thoughts on pressure? You've gone into these tournaments with pressure. You've listened to everybody. Maybe I want you to think about this as we go through the break. When we come back, I want Kenny's thoughts on: is it almost better to get out of Albuquerque and go play in Vegas, and with all the pressure that's riding on these two games? Do they have a better shot against Boise State at a neutral site? We'll talk about that next. We're kicking it with Kenny on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put
this in his segment. Jim just texted me, Kenny. He said he got the Lobos in 2.5. So that'd have been a horrible beat. That would have been a bad beat. If the game's over, then they nope. They put 2.8 on the clock, foul, you lose by 3. That'd be crummy. And the other thing is, baseball bucks are sold out. Kenny, that was our sweet deal today. They sold. I got a text at 9:05. They sold 450 of those things in 5 minutes. So they're gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice.
It is. All right. Do you agree with me? Lobos have to win 2 games to get to the NCAA tournament. With everything that else is going to. So
I think so.
You think more than that, or do you think if they beat Air Force at Boise State, you think they get in?
Fortunately, I agree with you, my guy. I feel like they need to make a statement with Air Force. I think they got to win. I feel like they got to win at least by a good 5 points or more, right? Obviously, the win's a win. But that Boise State game, that's going to be interesting. I love the fact that it's on neutral grounds. And MASH is back too. So, one game at a time. I don't want to jump it now. I know you're trying to get me to talk about two or more games, but I just want to get through Air Force.
And you ain't playing. You're a media guy now. You don't have to give me this player talk stuff. You're not playing. You can look ahead like the rest of us. All right, let me ask you this. You've been in these situations, and there's been times where you guys weren't always guaranteed in your 4 years to go to the tournament. You had to go to Vegas, and you had to play well, win a game, win 2 games, whatever it is. The pressure that mounts this time of year, everybody's talking about it. You didn't have the Twitter and all that stuff, but you had talk radio. You had everybody crawling down your throat. Is it easier to just get out of town, get away, get in your bubble, stay in your cocoon, live in your hotel, and play on a neutral court, or would you rather play in the pit?
I don't know, man. I was ranked in the top 25. We finished in the top 25, even going into the mountain, the WAC tournament. So I think in top 25, I think we were kind of a lock.
Okay. Every year?
But yeah. I think halfway. We probably got to look it up. We can talk about it Friday. But I think halfway through my freshman year, we were ranked.
Yeah, no, I know
if
that.
Not before that.
You were a 9 seed. The year you played Butler and Syracuse, were you an 8, 9 seed somewhere in there?
We were a 9 seed for 2 weeks. Yeah. BYU came in there and beat us at home.
Yeah.
And then that's when we lost our 45 game-ish home winning streak when we were second to Kansas with Scott Pollard, who actually just had heart surgery.
My boy too. I knew him in high school when he was in high school, Kamaikan High School. I'm a big Scott Pollard fan. Just had a heart transplant. Thoughts go out to him. Yeah.
I was just with him a year ago in a golf tournament. I'm always seeing him in these celebrity golf tournaments. Recovering very well. But to the other part of your question, I love playing in the pit, man. But we used to be put up in a hotel the night before games, and we used to be checked on as far as to make sure we were in our rooms. But going on the road is even better. I used to get excited playing in the WAC conference tournament because it was a lot of Lobo fans there. It was insane. I felt like I was playing at home, and I've always made this expression: playing with Allen Iverson on the road is like playing with a rock star, and it feels like you're at home. When we went to the the WAC conference tournament, it was more like we were at home anyway because we had a lot of fans there.
No doubt. Those were great days. Kenny Thomas is with us. We're kicking with Kenny here on the Sports Animal.
Yeah, Kenny, speaking to that environment, what's it like when you get to a conference tournament? Just the difference as a player, the feel of stepping on that floor, knowing it's win or go home, and of course, you guys did have the NCAA tournament experience, but just what it's like playing in games of this caliber.
Well, the nice thing about it is like you can be really crappy in the regular season conference games, but then you get an opportunity to go to the Mountain West Conference tournament and actually probably win. And that would be the crazy part of it, because I think it's wide open, because there's a lot of recognition between like 5 to 7 teams, if not 8 teams that are playing great ball and going into the tournament right now. When it comes to pressure and showing up, I got excited about it, man, being able to show up and show out. Obviously, I had some nerves and some jitters in the beginning, just like I did in the NBA for every 82 games that I played, every game that I actually played. But if House can't get this team involved with all the energy that he brings to the table, with this possibly being his last game, if they don't go to the NCAA tournament or they don't go to the NIT, so I feel like you got to leave it all out there tomorrow.
Kenny Thomas is with us. We're kicking it with Kenny. All right, a couple NBA things as we head down the stretch. Luka with a 30-point triple-double.
Yeah.
The streak ended. He was 3 points shy of extending the streak. I explain. It's insane, dude. What he does sometimes. 6 30-point triple-doubles in a row is bonkers.
Man, the way that the NBA has totally changed and developed, obviously it's more of a perimeter game. And I think it's more of a soft game to me now, back opposed to when I played. But it's all about points right now. That's what it is. And everybody's trying to shoot farther and farther from behind the three-point line, right? But he's a guy. Luka's a guy that's always been a dominating guy, because he's always demanded the ball, right, or dominated the ball. And he's just an aggressive dude, man. He makes, about $50 million a year, something like that?
It's like your career almost, right?
Yeah, exactly. The money that these kids are making is insane. The salary cap is like 136, 140 million now, with 15 guys on the roster.
Yeah. Lakers. Anthony Davis said Lakers are hitting their stride. What are we at? We've played 66 games, so there's about 16 left. Lakers are one game up on the Warriors for 9-10. I look at the West and where the Kings are. The Suns feel like they're playing better. I still look at the brands. I know Oklahoma City's at the top. Minnesota with Cat's injury, it's hard for me to believe they're going to be there. I'm still looking Nuggets, Phoenix, Lakers, Warriors. Tell me what I'm really missing.
Man, I agree. Once again, I'm agreeing with you. I can't believe we're on the same page today. More than normal. I believe KD, Booker, Bradley Beal, if he can stay healthy. The Lakers are on the move right now. The Kings got to watch out the way that they're playing. They barely beat the Spurs by 2 points the other night, like last week or something like that. The Warriors are making a move right now. Steph Curry, I think, is playing, but he had an ankle injury, right? But I'm not sure about that. But I feel like the Lakers are making a move, and they're playing some great basketball. I just really love the fact that how there's the play-in tournament now, to where you can have the 7 through 10 guys play, to where it's more beneficial for those teams that actually keep playing hard, and then it's just going to open it up to see what happens. And then the Eastern Conference, that's a whole other beast, because I'm thinking Milwaukee from that perspective, and I got to throw my Sixers in there if Embiid's okay, but there's some other teams that's playing some good ball. Even the Knicks over there are playing some good ball right now.
Everybody forgets Cleveland. JJ, got one?
Yeah, the Kings, man. How about this for a back-to-back? They get the Bucks tonight and Lakers tomorrow night. What a stretch.
That's not good.
Expert analysis. That's not
right?
good. Yeah, I believe it's in Sacramento.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, they just beat the Lakers down in L.A. like a week ago. So there's going to be some payback there.
All right. You available for us on Friday?
Of course, man.
All right, well, that'll be the day after. Hopefully the Lobos play Boise State. Let's get through Air Force first. We should have something to evaluate. Kenny is going to be on the radio over on News Radio KKOB tomorrow after the Air Force New Mexico game, and then for however many games there are left after that in the conference tournament, and for Lobos fans' sake, the NCAA tournament. Yeah.
And if they make the NCAA tournament, we'll be on each game.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate wherever, whatever bunker in whatever town that you have joined us from. Appreciate you finding us today.
I'm in the Albuquerque airport right now. I'm on my way to Burbank. I got to go to LA for some meetings, and then I'm going to Sacramento and check out my house.
So you got the nonstop. You got the nonstop.
Kenny Thomas, NBA.
Yeah.
Say it again.
You got the nonstop into Burbank.
Yeah. I'm not getting off. No, I stop somewhere, but I don't get off. But I'm going to Burbank.
All right. Safe travels. We'll catch up with you. We'll listen to you tomorrow. We'll catch up with you on our show on Friday, and buy his wines at the Albertsons on Tramway and Academy, and up in Santa Fe and online. All right. Did I miss anything?
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you always,
All
man.
Right. Be well.
You guys are my guys.
Safe travel. He is Kenny Thomas.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
See you.
All right. Okay, folks.
That's it's interesting stuff. JJ, the thought on the getting out of town with the pressure. There's no argument, right? This team's been feeling the pressure for the last, I don't know, would you say 3 weeks since the Air Force loss?
Yeah, of course.
And getting away from here, maybe it'll be beneficial for him. Like, yeah, there's a lot going on in Vegas, but you can almost, you don't have to run into it on campus. You don't have to run into your, people, Lobo fan at the store. Well,
you got to run into him at the hotel.
Yeah, you do.
So,
but you kind of
it's a different environment.
100%.
Like, there's a lot. Like, the practices are different. You get X 25 minutes and Cox 25 minutes on the regular floor. Like, you just got to be locked in, man. Just focused on yourself and nothing else.
Yeah. All right, baseball bucks are sold out. 5 minutes it took. Sell 450 of them. I think I got a pair.
It's like a Taylor Swift concert.
It is. Now, should I just go put them on the secondary market and see what they go for?
I mean, opportunity cost is.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. All right, we'll come back and a reset. What's going on in the NFL with the free agency and what happened this morning? There were a few things that did move this morning. Continue to take your correspondence at 505-246-0610. JJ's at the Mountain West Conference Tournament in Vegas. DC and I are in downtown Porque. We'll switch spots for tomorrow on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The madness is coming.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a
sports animal. So congratulations to you on from I mean, whatever that means to you, but from your side, I thought you did a great job this year.
Oh, well, I really appreciate that. It does mean a lot. Coming from you, just continue, to take notes myself. I know it's a job just like this that you can always continue to grow, get better. And I think this year I worked on a lot of things that I'm really happy about and excited for the future if we can keep going.
Yep. No, it's fun. And hopefully you get to do that for many more years. All right. So the women are out. The men go tomorrow. They'll be over on News Radio KKOB. Lobos tomorrow against Air Force. Time 5 o'clock Mountain, 4 o'clock out in Vegas. It kind of allows me a little nap tomorrow morning, right? I mean,
easy.
Yeah, I mean, the first game's at 11, so I probably won't be there. I'll miss Wyoming, San Jose State. I could live without that, right? And then get a little Colorado State, San Jose State. Is there Pac-12 tomorrow too?
Yes.
Maybe tomorrow's the day to go over the Pac-12 as well. All right, we'll do that tomorrow. NFL stuff. If you woke up late this morning or kind of went to bed, Joe Mixon's been released. He was flat out waived by the Cincinnati Bengals. Kind of done a little dirty by them because the market. I mean, if he was out there, where would Joe Mixon have been in the running back market?
Plot twist, Jeff.
You got something on him?
The Bengals traded Joe Mixon to the Texans.
Didn't they release him?
They did not release him.
I saw this.
It wasn't official.
I swear to God, I saw
it was not official.
Okay.
That was the report.
Because they can't do a damn thing until tomorrow, so they could tell him they're releasing him, but then not really release him and then trade him?
So they traded him to the Houston Texans.
What'd they get for him?
Not sure.
All right. You know what? That's not a bad spot for him. So are the Texans going to give him a new deal?
They don't have to because they could probably just pick up what he was owed this year.
Okay. DeAndre Swift went to the Bears, and Tony Pollard went to the Tennessee Titans, and Austin Eckler went to Washington, and Josh Jacobs went to Green Bay, and Aaron Jones is now in Minnesota, and Saquon Barkley's in Philadelphia. Literally musical running backs. Same guys are going to be at the top of your fantasy football draft. Joe Mixon to Houston. Who was their running back? Was it Singletary? Who was their best running back last year? They had Damon Pierce for a minute, and he was injured, right? Who's their best
That's a
running back?
solid 1-year spot for Joe Mixon.
I think it's terrific for him and for them. It was Damian Pierce, and they had a couple of, dudes, Jared Dokes. Do you know who Jared, Gerrid Dokes is? Guy out of Cincinnati. I think that's a great spot for him. Played collegiately at Oklahoma, so he's going back to the region. I love their offense. I got C.J. Stroud, now I got Joe Mixon, who's got a couple of years left on him. I thought Joe Mixon at the back end of the year was really good. And then I've got Nico Collins, Tank Bell, and Noah Brown with Dalton Schultz. How do you not love their offense? That was a transmission.
That's really good for TJ.
Yes, you guys, we sat here, and again, I know I've said this before, but when we sat here last offseason after free agency and the draft, and there were very few teams we didn't give a chance to. And they were one of those few, right? Houston was going to be up for the first pick of the draft again. JJ, they're legit. They won that damn division. Good for that front office, and DeMeco Ryans did a hell of a job turning around a really, really, really bad team damn near instantly.
Yeah, it's a combination. It's when you hit on both things. You hit on the quarterback, you hit on the roster.
Will Anderson.
Because they had stability, around C.J. Stroud in year one, which was huge. And they did the unthinkable. And that's what everyone is chasing, is when you draft a quarterback in the top 3, top 5, is to get that turnaround. And it doesn't happen like that. And what Houston did was fantastic.
Yeah, they hit on Will Anderson. They traded up. They got an edge rusher. What they've got in the secondary is decent. They'll draft again. Man. All right, so Joe Mixon, I don't see it anywhere, but I trust you.
It came out less than 10 minutes ago, so JJ was definitely on top of that.
Wow.
That's an amazing move, though.
Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. We saw in the playoffs, they couldn't run the ball at all, and that's part of the reason they went out. So they addressed it. Man, they're doing great things in Houston. That is a 1-2 punch right there.
Well, you know what's
Mixon
crazy?
And Pierce, that's very impressive.
I'm looking at Updating Live on CBS, and 13 hours ago it says Bengals released Joe Mixon. 27 years old. He'll be in demand on the market, blah, blah, blah. Because the Bengals signed Zach Moss. Is that a money thing? It's got to be a money thing. If you're telling me Zach Moss is better than Joe Mixon, I'm not buying it. 2 years, $8 million for Zach Moss. So that gives Cincinnati help. Second-year player, whatever. It changes it up. Would you rather Joe Mixon or Zach Moss?
I think you're going with Mixon, but I think what you get 2 years of Zach Moss for
$8 million.
$8 million, and Mixon was, I think, around that number for 1 year.
Yeah. I love it for Mixon. I love it for Houston. And did you see what they traded him for? What did they get for him? Because I can't find it anywhere. So whatever it is, I think it's a good move. Also this morning, if you missed it, Aaron Jones, the former UTEP star, the former Packer star, is now a member of the Minnesota Vikings. He signed a free agency deal there. And Minnesota signed Sam Darnold after losing Kirk Cousins in free agency to Atlanta. So of all that, and give me the Atlanta scenario, because everybody is in love with Atlanta. And I understand it. Atlanta was, to me, the classic underachiever team, but it was a quarterback situation. So I got Kirk Cousins as my quarterback. I got Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, and Cordell Patterson at running back. That's a pretty solid stable. Drake London is my number one. I could use another one. Van Jefferson's all right. Kadarius Hodge is all right. I got Kyle Pitts. Maybe I can finally unlock the potential there. They should be really good, right? And then you tell me a defense with Calais Campbell and some of those guys up front, they should be really good.
Yeah, you signed Kirk Cousins, give him a 4-year deal coming off an Achilles. You're saying that dude's going to go out there and win the division. And you are going to be better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield. And with Kirk Cousins, it's exactly what you said. They're trying to unlock that offense, the potential of that offense downfield with Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Bijan Robinson showed you he's a legit RB1 in the league. He can help out in the pass-catching game. And they still have Tyler Algier there, so you have that really good combination. I thought defensively they were a solid team last year. So this you make a move like this, and this should put you ahead of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because I do think it's going to come down to Atlanta and Tampa Bay. I don't feel like the Saints are going to be good. I think they're going to be like 6 or 7 win team, which will keep them in the race for a while. And so this, to me, just comes down to the Falcons and Bucs in the NFC South.
What makes them so much better? I look at Tampa Bay and I'm like, all right, what you're telling me is you think Kirk Cousins is better than Baker Mayfield. And I'm looking at Kirk Cousins, and to your point, 35 years old, coming off an Achilles injury. I think he's good, but to me, there's question marks. There's question marks with Baker Mayfield. I think Tampa goes out and finds a running back, although Rachaad White was pretty damn good last year. They got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin's still there. Everybody's telling me that they just won. They were the best in a bad division, and that might be true. I don't hate what Tampa Bay's got, man.
No, it should be a really fun race between those two teams, with New Orleans trying to find a way to be competitive with Derek Carr and a defense that was good. I think the giant question with the Saints, it's old. Like, there's a lot of age on that defense, and can they keep it up again? But to me, it's almost a push. Like, it's coming off the Achilles, we don't know. Like, we're just assuming he's going to be okay. The same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Because, if it was last year, of course, it's easy. Kirk Cousins over Baker Mayfield. But that gap is closed because the dude's coming off an Achilles injury.
All right, I got another quarterback signing for you. Who just sent this to me? It was from... it's from Richard. He just sent this to me. Commanders have signed Marcus Mediocre to a 1-year deal. Marcus Mediocre was he a first overall pick? Marcus Mariota out of Oregon. 1 year, $6 million. It was 2?
Because it was Winston and then Mariota.
Was he the Jameis draft? Okay. 1 year, $6 million, could be $10 million with incentives. So they have Sam Howell, Marcus Mediocre, and they've got the number 2 pick. That's either Drake May or Jaden Daniels. What's the strategy there? Does that mean Sam Howell's out? They're not keeping all 3 of them, are they?
Feels like Sam Howell could be available.
Right? Who would you rather have, Sam Howell or Marcus Mediocre?
Sam Howell.
I think I would too. I thought Sam Howell at times was I mean, look, as a fantasy quarterback, he put up crazy good numbers. Didn't make the playoffs, though. But I didn't. But he kept me in games. Will the rookie start week 1 in Washington, or will it be Sam Howell or Marcus Mediocre?
So here's the thing with the Commanders.
Yeah.
And I actually like what they're doing, because bringing a veteran center from Dallas, Austin Eckler, to add to the running back room. You have Terry McLaurin there as a veteran wide receiver.
You have Gibson, and you have McLaurin, you have Jahan Dotson as well.
Yeah, so if you bring in Marcus Mariota, who at this point in time, we know what he is. He's a veteran backup. And so what that tells me is they're drafting a quarterback at 2, and they wanted an older voice in that quarterback room with the rookie, as opposed to Sam Howell.
So Sam Howell's out, and he ends up probably... Where'd Marcus Mediocre come from? I mean, he could end up backing up in, Atlanta, in Green Bay, in... Hell, I'll tell you what, I'd take him with the Rams. You want to tell me Sam Howell's
the quarterback coach now in Washington was in Philadelphia last year. So there's the connection with Mariota.
Okay. Coaches seem to really like Marcus Mariota. Like everybody, I mean, evidently he's really cerebral, really good. He's small. He's another small quarterback, right? Who's the last drafted small quarterback that hit? Mahomes isn't small. He looks small, but he's 6'2". Who's the last, you take the Josh Rosens, the Bryce Youngs, who was it?
Small quarterback.
Because I hear all the time, don't judge a
Kyler work.
Kyler might be the guy. Yeah, I might go with Kyler. Do you got one, DC?
Not really. I mean, when I think of small, I'm thinking of under 6 foot. And
I'm
going back to Drew Brees on that one.
So that's way back, dude. Because Bryce Young last year, don't let the size fool you. I don't know. CJ Stroud's a lot bigger, and he had I mean, it's an incomparable rookie year. I don't want to put the death knell on Bryce Young yet because he had one bad year with a really bad team, but he didn't look good. But give me, there's been smaller quarterbacks who have been drafted. Yeah, don't worry. Russ?
Are you talking about Marcus Mariota being small?
Yeah, how big is Marcus Mariota?
He's 6'4".
Is he 6'4"?
Yeah.
Wow. All right then. Never mind on that argument. But I mean, let's have a conversation anyway. Keep Marcus Mariota out your mouth. Who's the last small quarterback? Right? Was it Russ?
Probably was 5'11".
Yeah. Mariota's 6'4".
Yeah, he's right.
He's a bigger dude.
All right then. I was trying to find a reason it didn't work. Maybe he just isn't that good.
Could be. I was actually surprised when he said 6'4". I was like, does that sound right? But yeah, no, he's a big guy.
All right. Wrap it up when we get back. Everything you got to know as you go through your Tuesday. 505-246-0610 as I stand corrected. I'm okay with that. You can get in on it. Anything you want to go. It's up time for you. JJ's in Vegas. I want to say thank you to our partners who make sure that we are there at the Mountain West Conference Tournament for you this week, bringing you the content. It's Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor. Frontier Restaurant in Albuquerque, tradition for more than 50 years. Coleman Vision, perfect game. DSI Document Solutions Incorporated, New Mexico. Boost your productivity and reduce your costs with DSI. And airport parking, easier, quicker, smarter. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
There's St. Mary's today.
Oh, yes, there is.
What, I didn't get credentialed for that. You think it's too late? I mean,
Probably.
if you think Gloria can help me with somebody over at the West Coast Conference and maybe find a way into Gonzaga, and that game is at 6 o'clock in Vegas, so I'm there. I mean, that's
That's
good
going to be a
look,
great game.
isn't it? Yeah, tickets are starting at $98. See if I got a guy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They doing that at the Orleans? Yeah, over at the Orleans. All right, JJ will be back in studio tomorrow. I'll be in Vegas. It'll be game day tomorrow for Lobo men's basketball. Of course, the ladies are done after getting beat yesterday in the quarterfinals, 67-56. Look, I see it now. Texans trading for Joe Mixon. No terms of the deal. All right. I think it's good for everybody. He finds a home. They didn't want him anymore. Man, it's a tough business, isn't it? Scram. We got someone younger. I got a newer model. I got someone better. Who'd they get? Zach Moss, right?
It's not a bad grad. He was leading the league in rushing the first 4 weeks.
Zach
last year.
Moss was?
Yeah. Before Taylor came back.
Yeah. Ron wants to know, JJ, RPI versus net for college basketball rankings. Are they really that different? For the Lady Lobos this morning, the net's 154, the RPI is 153. No, other than the net is what the selection committee uses, and they don't use RPI anymore, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, I don't know that they're much different. I mean, how different is Ken Palm and I don't know. You watch these every day. Is the Ken Palm a lot different than the net for the Lobo men, for instance?
Well, I can look that up for you right quick.
Yeah, and I'll find where the Lobos are in the net. And this is one of those things. And I was over on TJ Trout's show yesterday with Jeff Apodaca sitting in. I did an hour over there, over on News Radio KQB. And one of Jeff's things is, they'll never leave a top 30 net team out of the NCAA tournament. And I'm not sure I think that's right. Lobo net ranking, and this is the computers again, is 28. And some of y'all have been losing your mind about teams that are losing. How is San Diego State still in the number 20? And it's the metrics, and there's no bad losses. And you're right. San Diego State and New Mexico don't have great road wins in league. Now, San Diego State does have the win at Gonzaga, which was a true road win, which is making it getting better and better every day. But JJ's point, and this is where, Lobo fan and Mountain West fan for that matter, you guys should relish in this as opposed to get upset. Why is Boise State so low at 23? And why are they? But look, you're getting the treatment that the SEC or the Big Ten or the Big 12 have gotten for years. The computers respect your league. And so the top 7 teams in your league are top 75. The top net ranking, the top 6 are all above 36. And so when you lose to one of them, you don't plummet. Now, when you lose to Air Force, you get beat a little bit, but the Lobos didn't because it was their one blemish. But this is what you've been screaming about for other leagues for years, and now you're finally getting the benefit of it. What'd you find?
They are 34 in Ken Palm, the Lobos.
and that's Ken Pomeroy's different metric or whatever. So those are two metrics that are going to be used. Look, it's a big day tomorrow. It's a big day tomorrow, and we'll talk about it. And Lobos will play tomorrow night against Air Force. And then, JJ, hopefully when we're sitting here on Thursday morning, it's an even bigger day, because then you lose tomorrow, and we know the fate. We go into Thursday, and it kind of feels like, all right, everything's in your hands at that point, right?
Yeah. Gotta find a way to get to the boys' state game.
I just got this Ledee named Mountain West Player of the Year. That was yesterday's media poll. The coaches poll will come out today, and we'll see where all that plays out. All right, thanks to Kenny Thomas. He was with us today. We kick it with Kenny. You can listen to him over on News Radio KKOB after the game tomorrow with Brandon Ortega. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On will be here at 4 o'clock. And then we're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. JJ, safe travels as you head back to the Burke.
We'll swap places.
Yeah, we'll swap places. So JJ will be in here tomorrow, DC. You good? And I'll be, well, kind of in his hotel. Well, you know, you get it. Adrian, great work on the visual side. DC, terrific day today. Appreciate you a lot. Be good to each other, please. We're back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you then.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spots.